my children not be left alone with this woman. It's not that I don't necessarily want the woman around. I can't control that. I'm just asking that there be supervision because this woman has showed an obvious hate for me.
Why are you attacking me, sir? You know,
Because it's very simple. We're just
hold
trying
on.
to
I
establish.
just got in here. You already attacking me. Don't attack me.
Well, you don't listen to anything. Kind of why I'm frustrated, and it's late. We haven't had a lunch. We haven't had a long break. We're tired.
Mom doesn't want dad's fiancée around her kids.
Regarding child support only, we're not talking about being reimbursed for medical. Would you be in agreement to $1,375?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How much does it cost to cover your children on your insurance, not including you?
We had that number a minute ago. Miss Cinnamon was able to help me with that number.
Okay, let's talk about here. Is $100 for medical sound correct to you?
No.
Does 19 for dental for the children sound correct to you?
Yes.
Okay. How much is the medical?
I'm doing those calculations right now.
And this would be for just the two children, not yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And taking the $19 out for the dental per month.
I think the children are on his dental as well. So if they're on his dental as well, I wouldn't need any reimbursement for that.
Okay, so ma'am, let's just be clear. You're testifying that the children have been on your medical insurance, okay? How much does it cost to carry your two children?
I'm finding that number out, ma'am.
Okay, I've received that information. Does $328 sound correct to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and 65 for dental sound correct to you as opposed to the 19 that I read earlier?
Not if Mr. Henry has dental insurance, ma'am.
Okay, is it your request today that the father carry the dental and that you carry the medical?
No.
How much does the dental cost for you, ma'am?
So my dental is probably about 60. What I'm saying is that DeAndre Henry also carries the kids on the dental, ma'am. So if you're saying only one of us can carry the kids, then I prefer to keep them on my guardian insurance. But if he's carrying them and I'm carrying them, I don't think he should pay me additional money when we're both carrying them, is what I'm saying.
Understood. Thank you for that information, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
When the children are with the father and the father is exercising his visitation, was there someone you didn't want the children to be around? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is that person?
And it wasn't that I necessarily don't want them around because I don't feel I can control that. I don't want them left unsupervised. And that was with his current fiancée, Shalisa Allison, as we have a pending investigation to her harassment. I've had to change my number a few times.
Okay. And so you're asking the judge for a restriction that the children not be left alone with a Miss Allison, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the harassment case that you have filed a civil or a criminal matter?
I believe it's a criminal matter.
Okay. And what are the results of that?
It's pending. It's still open.
Okay. And is it a harassment case of you, your children?
It's me. It's of me.
Okay. So what do you think, tell the court what would happen if
ma'am? Yes, ma'am. This woman has shown
ma'am, I have not even finished asking my question. So my question is, can you tell the court what would happen if the children were left alone in Miss Allison's care?
I can't speak to what would happen, ma'am. I can give you what I believe could happen. This woman has shown a very obvious hate for me. She has harassed me. She has sent me pictures that she grabbed out of Mr. Henry's phone. And she has not stopped to the point that I've had to change my number numerous times. My daughter has fell over there while Mr. Henry was not in there. When I bring things like this to Mr. Henry, my daughter comes home and tells me she fell, she was not helped. when I bring these things to Mr. Henry, there's a back and forth. So my request is to prevent these things, that my children not be left alone with this woman. It's not that I don't necessarily want the woman around. I can't control that. I'm just asking that there be supervision, because this woman has showed an obvious hate for me for whatever reason. And it wasn't a one-time situation. She has been harassing me since January of this year.
Okay,
So,
just to be clear, and then I'll move on from this issue. What does she say when she harasses you?
multiple things. Do you want me to read all the text, or?
No, ma'am, I do not want you to read all the text. Just give me a gist. Is it threats? Is she, what is it?
In the text messages, there hasn't been threats. She just sends me nude pictures, threatens to send these to my job. She threatens to call my job. She
Nude
calls me
pictures of whom?
pictures of me, nude pictures of me that Mr. Henry has sent her, and she sends them to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides this information that you've provided, is there anything that you haven't mentioned that you would like the judge to know?
Such as what?
That's up to you, ma'am. You're representing yourself. So if there's anything else you need to say, this is your time to say it.
No.
Okay. Thank you for your information. I'll pass this witness. I call the father. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
DeAndre Henry.
And Mr. Henry, did you hear the agreed portions that I read into the record?
Yes.
Are those still your agreement?
Yes, besides the point of my kids not being able to go
We're
out of
just talking
town.
about the agreements, Mr. Henry. You need to listen. We're just talking about the agreements. Did you hear the agreements? Yes or no?
No, can I hear those again?
Do you want it? You're wasting our time having to go through all this all over again because you can't listen.
Why are you attacking me, sir? You know?
Because it's very simple. We're just trying to
I
establish.
just got in here. You already attacking me. Don't attack me.
Well, you don't know. You don't listen to anything. It's basically where we are.
Oh yeah. Okay, sir.
So Ms. Correa announced at the beginning that y'all had agreed to some things and some things you didn't agree to. One of those was you were going to be joint managing conservators. There's going to be no back child support request. You're going to use app codes to communicate, standard visitation with an exchange location, no out-of-state visits, and you weren't going to do corporal punishment. And child support arrears were 0. Did you hear that the first time?
That's why I said out of state.
Did you hear that the first time?
Yes, sir. But you
Do
said something that I didn't
you
agree
agree
with.
to all those things?
It was something that I didn't agree with, sir.
I didn't ask you about anything else that I didn't mention.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear you.
Okay, on only those things. Do you agree to those things?
No, I don't agree to everything on there, sir.
What part of the ones that I just listed off did you not agree with?
The one that I spoke on when I first came in, I said the one that she said no out of town. I don't agree with that, sir.
Okay, anything else you don't agree with?
No, sir.
Okay. So you agree to everything else except for the no out-of-state visits?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're just trying to get a starting point here. And we
I don't want you
worked
to
a long
take
time
me.
today to get to a starting point. I'd like to not argue about things that y'all have already agreed to.
I'm sorry, sir.
You need to listen to what's being said so that we can get there and get there easier. I understand we have contested issues. We're going to talk about those now. But if you don't listen to the easy parts, how are we going to do the hard parts? That's kind of why I'm frustrated, and it's late. We haven't had a lunch. We haven't had a long break. We're tired. You need to listen to what's been said and not interrupt and talk while other people are talking. All right, Ms. Correa, go ahead and finish with your questions.
Sir, do you have private insurance available to you for your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it through your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Medical and dental?
Yes, and vision.
Okay, we're not going to talk about vision today, but for medical, how much is it for both of your children?
I pay $46.15 a paycheck
How often do you get paid?
weekly.
Okay, so about $200 a month, roughly.
Yes.
How much is dental?
10, it's 10 something. $10 and something.
So about $40 a week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $40 a month.
Yeah,
Um,
Mom.
we heard earlier that the mother testified that she's carrying medical and dental as for the children. Are you also carrying medical and dental?
I am.
The state has calculated if the state, excuse me, if the judge orders for you to be the person legally responsible for carrying the medical and dental, we've calculated child support at $13.18 per month. Would you be in agreement with that?
No, ma'am.
And why would you not be in agreement with child support being set at that amount?
Because my checks only come out to be 800 and some a week.
And do you understand that the wages that the family code says to calculate is based on gross, not net wages?
Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, who is Miss Allison?
Um, that's my fiance.
Do you guys currently live together?
We do.
Is she harassing the mother in this case?
No, she's not harassing her. They have had a exchange of words, which Catherine have said things, and she have said things. Um,
Okay.
Catherine has wished death on my other children. You know, she have called me the N word. She called Shalisa the N word. You know, they've had a heated exchange back and forth. You know, but I thought we was past that part though. That was in the beginning.
All right. Let's get to the out-of-state provisions. Do you plan to travel out of state with your children when they're with you?
Yes, most of my family is out of state. I'm the only one here.
Are any of those people exercising corporal punishment on your children?
No,
Have they in the past?
no,
I've heard testimony about harassment from both parties. Has there been any incidents of domestic violence, family violence between you and the mother?
no,
Nothing where there's been physical, the police has had to been called, there's been injuries, anything like that?
no,
Okay. Anything besides words, text messages from either your girlfriend, from your fiance, excuse me, or yourself?
no, that's all it was.
Okay, I passed this witness and I recall the mom on the narrow issue of family violence. Ma'am, has there been an instance of family violence between you and the father?
No.
Okay, and are you asking for your address to remain private from this court record?
Yes,
Does the father currently know where you live?
he does.
Okay, is that non-disclosure request because of the father or because of the father's partner?
The father's partner.
Okay, I pass this witness and the state rest.
Just a quick question, Ms. Bearden. Do you have a copy of the insurance that Mr. Henry is providing, the health insurance and the dental?
Yeah, no, sir. I was never made aware ever that there was health insurance. I knew that there was dental insurance, yes, sir, but never the health insurance is new information to me today.
Mr. Henry, when did you provide Ms. Bearden a copy of the insurance card for health insurance?
I've tried to provide her with that, and she always stated that she was gonna keep them on that same insurance. So no, she don't have it. I done told her if any information that she wanted or needed, I've gave my the person that's in charge of that at my job. I told them that if she was the call to give her all the information. So Catherine Bearden, she knew that she can get
They're not
this
going to do that,
information.
Henry, right? You know they're not going to do that, even if you tell them that, right?
Oh yeah, you talking about at the job?
Yeah, they're not going to give her any information.
Yes, long as I tell them that they could,
No, they
they
won't.
will.
No, they won't.
I promise you, sir, she would. She
No,
would.
they won't, because they'd be violating
I
your
have a
privacy.
relationship. I have a good relationship with her, and I know
Unless,
she would.
unless those people want to go to jail for violating your privacy rights, they're not going to give her that information.
Well, she asked me, and she said I wanted to ask you just in case, you
There's something
it
called HIPAA that prevents them from providing confidential information. It doesn't matter whether you verbally tell them that it's okay for Ms. Bearden to call. They're not going to do it. They don't want to go to
well,
jail. They don't want to get in trouble.
well, sir, maybe she wasn't thinking straightly, but I'm pretty sure she would have did that.
Well, they're not going to do that.
Well, I didn't know,
So
but
my question to you originally was, have you given her Ms. Bearden a card?
no, Miss Bearden hasn't wanted a card because she liked the insurance that she's on.
Okay, then if she's told you that, then why did you add the child on your or children on your insurance?
Because I got more than 2 children. I got 4 children. So it's the cost of 4 children regardless. So if she used it or not, I'm still fit to have it for my other 2 children. And with her talking about the Blue Cross Blue Shield, starting next month, we changing over to Blue Cross Blue Shield. So the beginning of the year will be Blue Cross Blue Shield.
But that doesn't mean necessarily that the providers are going to cover, even if it's the same company. That's just the truth.
Okay, well, I don't know. I just know that's the same company she's talking about.
The parts y'all agreed to, those are fine. Y'all gonna be joint managing conservators. Did not request any back child support for the new child. Y'all could use app close to communicate. Standard visitation with an exchange location. I'm changing the other parts here. There's no corporal punishment by your girlfriend or fiance, Mr. Henry. She's not to touch your children for any disciplinary reasons, but I'm allowing you to do that, Mr. Henry, as long as it's within reason. If it's unreasonable, then you know that Ms. Bearden will find out, so make sure that it's within reason. Being that these two ladies don't like each other, I don't want this other lady to be involved in disciplining the children.
Your Honor, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't.
We don't know that.
She knows better.
I don't know that she knows better.
We
Mr.
don't
Henry.
play that. We don't play that. We don't play that, Your Honor.
Well, I don't believe you, to be honest with you, Mr. Henry. I don't believe you.
Well, I don't whoop her kids.
Anyways, I'm not going to go through this again. I'm trying to give my ruling. You need to listen. If it's not an issue, then why are you arguing with me? No corporal punishment by the fiance, period. Why do we have to argue about that? I'm not ordering that Mr. Henry can't leave the state with the children. If he's got family out of town, he should be able to do that. He should be able to go on vacation as long as it's within the time periods for the visitation, not in excess of the visitation. As far as child support be $1,375. Health insurance to be covered by Ms. Bearden with a reimbursement of $250 a month. Dental insurance to be covered by Mr. Henry. And I'm granting Ms. Bearden's request for non-disclosure of her address. That should take care of all the issues that we have. Let me look through my notes.
Your Honor.
I think that covers all the issues that we have. I'm not going to change my mind. If you have a quick question, I can do that, but I'm not changing my mind. Yes, ma'am?
So originally when I was in that separate meeting,
I don't want to hear about your separate meeting. What's your question?
I wanted to know if the kids could not be dropped off out of state, not go out of state, just dropped off and left.
You don't have to pick them up. You don't have to take them anywhere. Mr. Henry has a responsibility to pick them up from your residence. Or
No,
if you
sir.
meet at an exchange location, you can do that too. But you have no obligation to take the children anywhere.
No, sir. My question was if Mr. Henry can just drop the children off out of state when he has them for the summer and then pick them up 2 months later. Can I have it in there?
He doesn't have 2 months. He only has 30 days.
Well, for 30 days, can we have it in there he doesn't drop the kids off with relatives for those 30 days?
Why would we need that?
Because he works. So he drops them off with his sister who does give corporal punishment. So in the case that he has to work, I don't mind being an open door. He can drop them off with me and pick them up whenever he has availability during those 30 days. I just don't want the children dropped off with people that, to be honest with you, they're not familiar with for 30 days.
I can't do that. I can't dictate to Mr. Henry how he wants to use his 30 days.
Okay.
All right, y'all are, the Attorney General's office will draft an order based on my findings and rulings today. Y'all need to abide by those rulings even if you may not agree. You need to add the app close to your app immediately so that y'all can communicate through there. Of course, standing orders are that y'all are not to harass or cause anybody else to harass any other party in this case. If they are doing that, you need to make sure that they are not doing that. They can be in violation of that order as well. Y'all are done with court today. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.